What's going on YouTube? It's your boy CamATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're gonna love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment anything in the comment section to enter your name into that $50 giveaway that I will be announcing the winner of next Friday. Okay, so do all the videos because I'm going to randomly select the video and boom, choose a commenter and get $50. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. I asked for 150 likes on your last video. We got 250. I love you guys. I appreciate all the support. Let's go ahead and get back to it and smash again. When it comes to greenlightdfs.com, once again, for the fourth day in a row since MLB has started, we were in the green. Only problem is some of the greens were doubling up and doing well, and some of the greens lost a little bit. So all in all, you guys know I like to keep it 100% real with you. It was green. All the contests were green in single entry double ups, but I'm not going to count it as a win because some were not double up. They did not double up. You know what I mean? So, hey, I got to take it as it is, and so I'm 3-1 on the season, but we're gonna go ahead and get our fourth win here on this slate. I'm super excited for this. I've got some really good plays for you guys, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. Hopefully we'll get a Nelson Cruz type of performance again. All right, here we go. Starting off at pitcher, the two pitchers that I'm interested in is Josh James. I'm gonna start with him real quick. Now, Justin Verlander is injured and will miss the rest of the season. That quick. One outing and he's gone. Josh James is a guy who pitched in relief. Now, these relief pitchers, they normally have a lot of good strikeout stuff, okay? He pitched in relief last year. He got 100 strikeouts in like 61 innings, which shows he has some really good strikeout stuff, which means his upside here against Seattle is tremendous. Okay, we're getting a guy who was relief pitching, has very, very good strikeout stuff in a very plus matchup on a team that scores a lot of runs, who should get him the win at 8-6. I really, really, really love Josh James. On top of that, I think he's stretched out and should be able to go a good little distance here in his first start. All right, next up, let's go ahead and go Adrian, I think that's his name, right? Wojdakowski. Now, so all the research I did last year, I remember this guy. Last year I did a bunch of research and nothing told me that this guy was good. Okay? Plain and simple, nothing told me this guy was good. So everybody stacked against him like 3 slates in a row and the dude smashed. He like got a shit ton of strikeouts the day that everybody stacked against him. I remember that. But at the end of the day, he ended up having a solid season and he is a solid, decent pitcher. Now he's getting a plus matchup in a very good pitcher park in Miami. Miami just had 3 players test positive for COVID, 3 starting position players with Cooper and some other guys, but Ramirez, they're starting positional players. So Miami just missed some starting bats out of their lineup. Now, they still smashed, but I'm not believing how well that offense has been going, and I think they will come down to reality. And I think Wojdakowski, look, I know I'm butchering it. Who cares? You guys get the point, okay? Let's call him Woj. There you go. He is only 6'8". He's got some decent strikeout stuff, and he's going against a bad Miami offense, missing 3 of their starting bats. Yes, they've been playing well so far, but I'm going to go ahead and imagine that they're not as good as they've been playing, and I think this guy can have a solid outing here in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, which should limit some of the damage. All right, now let's get to the bats. Now, just like yesterday, I believe I had 3 outfielders yesterday. I have another 3 outfielders just because the value on these guys is just ridiculous. My favorite play and the guy who I'm calling for a possible double dong is Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos throughout his career has absolutely mashed lefties. Okay, plain and simple, this dude is a lefty masher. Okay, now to top things off, all right, we already know he hits lefties really, really well. I did some research, looked into how good he has done against John Lester. He's gone 7 of 12, 3 home runs, and a .583. So not only does his entire career show that he mashes lefties, but his history against Lester is amazing. 7 of 12, 3 home runs, .583. Expect a big game out of Nick Castellanos, and I think he's going to be a tremendous play here with that righty-lefty matchup. All right. Next guy I want to talk about is going to be Andrew McCutchen. Andrew McCutchen also gets another positive of going against a left-handed pitcher. And at that, he's going again, and McCutchen hits lefties very, very well, by the way. He should also be leading off at the top of this lineup, and he has also been amazing versus J.A. Happ through his career. Okay, 12 hits out of 28 attempts, 4 home runs, and a .429 batting average. 28 at-bats is not an incredibly small sample size. That's a decent sample size. He's got 4 home runs and 28 at-bats with a .429 batting average versus J.A. Happ. On top of that, just knowing how well he is against lefties in general, Andrew McCutchen should have a very solid game here. All right. Now, speaking of just crazy power, this guy right here is an absolute monster, and he has had some huge games, even double-dong performances last year. Now, here's the thing. Fulmer will be starting the game, okay? Fulmer will be starting, yes, which might possibly keep Soler's ownership low. Who knows? But Tyler Alexander will be coming after him and pitching majority of this game, I believe. And Soler will get the righty-lefty matchup against Alexander. Alexander struggles big time versus righties. Soler is in a fantastic spot in this situation going against a left-handed pitcher, okay? Versus left-handed pitchers, let me pull this up for you. Versus left-handed pitchers, Soler has a 261 ISO and a 364 WOBA. Okay, I believe actually throughout his career, he has actually been slightly better versus righties. If I got to double check that real quick. Versus righties, he has a 318, 384. So both of these guys, he has the ability to smash. And honestly, with his type of upside and potential here, and his power he has, period, in that bat at 3.8, it just seems like a bit of a steal. All right. Now, honestly, it came down to Soler, or if you don't really want to go Soler and don't want to deal with the one pitcher starting and then another pitcher coming in, you can also go with one of my other favorite guys that I loved. I almost put in a high five, which is high five worthy, Eugenio Suarez. He's getting the righty-lefty matchup here against Leicester. Amazing situation for Suarez. This dude is a legitimate, once again, another guy who hits lefties very, very well. He has a huge sample size against Leicester, 42 at-bats. He has a 381 batting average and 6 home runs. All right, Suarez is legit. He has always hit lefties very, very well. Let me get you his numbers for you so you can totally understand where I'm coming from here on this one. But he is just super, super solid. And Leicester's just not the pitcher that he used to be. Okay, plain and simple. He's just not the pitcher that he used to be. He's not a guy that you really got to fear. Eugenio Suarez has a 301 ISO and a 414 WOBA versus left-handed pitching. So, plain and simple, the dude's a beast. All right, and that's it. We got Josh James, Woj, Suarez, Castellanos, and McCutchen. Suarez or Soler, you can go either one if you need to save the money and go like an under 4K guy. Soler is going to have some good potential in this matchup. I definitely think he's going to get a dong, which is why I put him in the high five originally in the beginning of this video, right before I talked about Suarez. I do think he gets a home run on that righty-lefty matchup against Tyler Alexander. And that's it. All right, over on FanDuel, it's the same exact situation. Josh James is my preferred pitcher because there's nobody really who is that big of a deal on this slate. Honestly, like if we look at the pitchers that we have on this slate, okay, we have guys like Fultinowicz going against Tampa Bay. We got Savali, Cease, Lester, Glasnow, Happ. Like we're getting towards the end, the bottom-ish of, well, the middle bottom-ish of these guys' rotation. So none of these guys are amazing. And I think, honestly, I think Josh James is going to do very, very well in this situation with his type of strikeout rate and his going through his time just limiting hard contact and just doing a very good job at, finishing games out. I think he's going to have a great game. So I like Josh James over there on FanDuel. And that's about it, man. I mean, you can go anywhere, like just on FanDuel as normal. Go exactly what you want for pitcher, okay? If you need to spend up. But go your favorite pitcher and then get the bats you want. Suarez, Castellanos, McCutchen, all these guys are in play over on FanDuel as well, of course. All right? Now, let's go ahead and get straight into the home run predictions. Man, we got the double dong out of Nelson Cruz. He had a ridiculous game, over 50 points. A lot of people were hitting me up on Twitter like, thank you, Cam, for the high five. It absolutely smashed. But guess what? If I would have actually played my boy Nelson like my gut was telling me and how I put you guys in, like what happened is I woke up in the morning and saw that the wind was blowing out heavily in Wrigley, and you guys know how that is. When the wind is blowing out heavily in Wrigley, the balls fly out of that park. So I knew offense was going to be great. So I ended up going with a lot of different Chicago guys and mixing things up instead of going with Nelson Cruz how I had originally. But it is what it is. Hey, we still got green, just not as much green as we've gotten so far in the beginning of the year. Let's go ahead and get back to it. Now, home run predictions. Let's go ahead and get straight into this. Now, I'm going to start it off with Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso is a guy that I am super excited about here in this matchup against Brian Johnson. He's got the righty-lefty matchup, and this dude just mashes lefties, plain and simple. 325 ISO, 405 WOBA. Dude smashes lefties, and I definitely can see him possibly getting a home run here. All right. Next up, I already talked about Soler, but there's some Yankees that I really like against Jake Arrieta. I like Stanton. I like Judge. I really like Rhys Hoskins getting the righty-lefty matchup against J.A. Happ. And remember, this is for every slate, by the way. So if I say a name you don't see on the main, it's because he's probably on one of the other slates. All right. Another guy that I really see doing well is Cespedes. I think Cespedes is very interesting here in this matchup with the righty-lefty matchup against Brian Johnson. There's a few of these Met guys that are a little bit sneaky here. Cespedes and Alonso are two guys that I have some interest in there. I mean, there's just so many different guys that we could go with on the slate for home runs. So I'm going to go ahead and say some other guys. I already told you guys Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. I think both of those guys are going to be in a fantastic spot to get one. Oh, Eugenio Suarez, of course. Travis Shaw. Now, if you guys know, let me see what his... as you guys know, we played him multiple times last year because Travis Shaw was a guy who just... I'm blanking on what position he was, honestly. What the hell? I'm tripping. I thought he was third base. I don't know. Oh, he's not on the slate. No shit. All right, no shit. My bad. My bad. Let me put Suarez back in here. But yeah, Travis Shaw, we played him multiple times last year because he was a dude who was like low 2000s for a while. He's got a lefty-righty matchup, and he's got some solid power that he can take advantage of here. And then I'm going to end it with Chris Bryant. Now, I know Chris Bryant has not been great. He's had some down moments, but this is a dude who has hit lefties very, very well through his career. All right? So Chris Bryant's in a great spot. I really like him. And that's it. We got Chris Bryant, Travis Shaw, Eugenio Suarez, Cespedes, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Rhys Hoskins, Alonso, and Soler. All right, those are all guys who I believe have the best chances of getting home runs yesterday. And when it comes to double dongs, I think that the double dong potentials are Pete Alonso, and just something tells me Suarez is going to go off. So I think Suarez has a double dong potential as well. All right. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. I hope I was able to help. I hope we smash again. I hope one of these high five bats go for 50 again. That would be fantastic. Drop a like down below if you haven't already, man. Let's get over 150 likes again. Fuck it. You guys got 250 last time. I'm sure you'll go right back to that. But appreciate you guys for watching as always. Greenlightdfs.com. Join the squad. Peace.